Welcome, everybody. John Zager. JohnZager.com. How's everybody doing today? Good? Good. So I wanted to hop on and do a little YouTube video based on an article that I read last night. And it kind of struck me contrary to what I do. And the topic was, is the law of attraction real? Right? And as I read, it was a pretty lengthy article, actually, and it went into all kinds of detail, which was kind of interesting. But I don't know. I want to bring up some of the points because what I teach is the law of attraction, right? Partly. That's kind of what I teach. That's my background. Has to do with the clinical psychology, has to do with the neuroscience. And what this guy was talking about, he had some credentials, which was good. So it wasn't like just somebody commenting. And he got into talking about how many people really manifest their intentions. And who's actually making the money, right? The answer to those two questions is pretty simple. There's a huge percentage of people that are not manifesting anything. And the large sum of people that are making the money are the gurus that, advertise and sell it on the internet. They're millionaires. The people who write the books. I mean, when it first happened or broke back in the 90s, everybody jumped on board and it took off like wildfire. And everybody believed it because they wanted to believe that their lives could be better. And the law of attraction talks about we attract things based on our thoughts, feelings, emotions, things like that. And I think it goes on to talk about, we can think ourselves well or we can think ourselves sick. We can become so negative that we acquire disease, terminal illness, right? I mean, this is what law of attraction says. And likewise, we can think ourselves well to where if we're in hospice, we can change our belief system, right? That's what they tell us. And in turn, you can, downregulate your diseased cells through thought alone. That's their whole premise, is everything's through thought alone. And cause and effect is what Newtonian physics, or the three-dimensional world we live in, is all about. And he was talking about that. Everything is created or not through cause and effect. If you're wanting a new house or a new car, a new boat, a new canoe, new whatever, if you're just wanting money, any amount of money for that matter, I guess, he goes on to say people go out and work and they work overtime and they get a second job or whatever it happens to be in order to get enough money. Or cause and effect. Here's the other thing that's interesting. He said maybe you'll work a job that you're not real happy with, but eventually it'll lead you to a person that leads you to another person or whatever, where you start making more money. The law of attraction says the same thing. They're just saying that it's through your thoughts that you acquire a job where you meet somebody and they turn you on to somebody that produces money for you. They're both saying kind of the same thing, right? One is using cause and effect, Newtonian, and one is using quantum physics, which says we cause the effect. There's a delicate line right there. You know, they both are right, depending on which camp you're in. So the next thing, you know, he briefly talked about, got on to a conversation, was people want to believe so badly that if something were to happen, they would say, you know, that's a result of my thoughts creating that. Example. What's an example? Just use money. It's a common one. Everybody in the world wants more money. And you're not working. You're homeless, unemployed, and you meditate constantly and have thoughts and emotions around acquiring money. And nothing happens the first day, week, month, 6 months, year, 2 years, 3 years, 10 years. I mean, this is true for some people. Nothing. They're not making any money. And then out of the sky blue, they get a text or some sort of email or something from, you know, these places that deliver food. And it says, you know, we want you to start delivering food for us. You can work whatever you want. You can make money. We'll pay you bonuses. And it could lead to other things. And it's 100% honest. And you start the job and all of a sudden you're making $1,000 a week. You can. You just have to work and work the right hours and do everything they're asking you to do, and they keep moving you up. And you say, it's the result of my thinking those thoughts. Those were my intentions. Money, 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 money. And you give the law of attraction the benefit of the doubt, because you were ready to believe that it works. Now, the previous 9 years, 8 years, 7, 6, 5, 4, 10 months, 6 months, 2 weeks, 4 weeks, it didn't work for you. Right? Well, you weren't ready. You weren't ready to believe in the law of attraction. Here's another area he talked about. The gurus. That I don't know. I think they're all good. I think they're all knowledgeable. I think they all present the same thing, just in, you know, different terms. And that's okay. But here's the interesting part. As I watch, because I watch all these people on the internet, and I try to see, you know, what they have going on and what direction they're taking to attract people to their camp. because that's how they make money, right? The more followers, the more money they make. Some of them, and this is just me observing, I don't have a nickel invested in any one of them, and I don't, they're all fine. They're all great, nice people, and they're knowledgeable, and they do what they do. But it's interesting to pay attention, and you can do the same thing. I'm in nobody's camp, my own camp, but I'm in nobody's camp. And after watching some of them over the course of a year or years, all of a sudden, what used to be 1 a day, 2 a day, 3 a day kind of presentations, trying to explain why you're not manifesting your intentions, right? Because that's what they talk about all the time. Well, the reason you're not manifesting, the reason you don't, it's coming, but there's this little tweaky thing that I haven't told you, and now I'm going to tell you about, and that's going to make all the difference in the world. I don't know. But all of a sudden, they're not doing a video or podcast 3 times a day. They're doing it once every 2 or 3 days. And then it gets to once every 5 days, then once every week. They're running out of material. That's what this guy kind of suggests. Obviously, all of the secrets and the here, now I've got it. This is going to allow you to acquire the money tonight within 24 hours. I've now figured it out, and I'm going to give you that set of things you have to do now, different than before, and it'll work. I don't know. But anyway, he had conversation about things of that nature that I just went through. And why it doesn't work for everybody. And I believe when you go to, here's a thought, this is kind of a sidebar, but when you see people go to a revival, religious revival, I've never been to one, so I don't know how that works, or I don't know who does those or anything like that. But there's an awful lot of healings that go on. Because they tape it, they video it so that that particular minister or congregation or church, gets publicity and hopefully gets some money out of the deal. But isn't it interesting at an event like that, a healing would occur? Do you think, and this is sidebar, do you think that those people, 1, 2, 6, 12 out of the group of, 500 or 1,000, do you think they were primed to be healed? Do you think they were ready to believe? I don't know. What about the workshops that are available out there to everybody, from every guru that has ever been? They have some strong arguments why you should attend their workshop or seminar. I guess they call them either or. And of course, there's money involved in going. I mean, some of those, I don't know for certain, but some of those are like a couple grand, and then you have the cost of the hotel for the week and the cost of airfare, and I don't know if they include food or not, but you know, an event can get very expensive. And if the guy or gal who's doing the event has some character, then you're going to attract more people. And then it's back to, are these people primed to believe at one of those events, whereas several months before that they were not? And then, of course, you know, they're able to talk about how they were healed, right? How they were healed. I don't know. So the guy kept going on and on about the law of attraction really doesn't work. And he basically suggests just go interview people, you know, go ask them. You know, you're big into the law of attraction. Has manifesting worked for you? Now, the part he doesn't talk about is all the positive things that do happen through the law of attraction. And they're not necessarily cause and effect, but they are quantum physics mechanics where you're causing an effect. Here's what I believe, and I don't know what category or camp it fits into, but I'll give you a couple examples. I'm a fly fisherman, and I wanted to fly fish in all the blue ribbon, gold medal waters from the Rockies to the Pacific. And I dreamt about that all the time. I was obsessed with how much I want to do that. And the more and more I obsessed and thought about it and visualized it and tried to be creative in how to acquire the money for it, there was a point in time where it all materialized, manifested. I don't know if that was the law of attraction or if that was me just wanting something so badly that I figured out a way to make it work. I don't know, you guys. I don't know. When I was a young kid growing up, I had an uncomfortable family I was in. Let's put it that way. And I did anything I could to not feel that pain while being there. So I got myself into sports, right? In grade school, I think I started in the 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, playing baseball every day on a team and basketball in the fall and little league football. And then I graduated into high school. I went to an all-prep boys school, pretty exclusive. I wanted all of this so badly. I visualized it constantly. I saw myself being an athlete and able to compete with all the kids in the city who ended up at that high school that were very, very good. And I made all the teams. From swimming to football to golf to track to you name it. and I became all state. I wanted it so badly. I don't know, is that the law of attraction before it was even around, or what? Was that cause and effect, or was that me causing an effect? I mean, there's lots of examples in my life like that. There's the story, one last story, and I won't bore you guys anymore, but one last story. So there's the story I tell about the guy who's been living in his truck for, I guess it's been 13 years now. And kind of unemployed. I mean, has different little jobs that he does from time to time to make some money or whatever to survive, but basically lives a life of lack, right? That's what you hear. Well, does he enjoy the solitude so much that he doesn't want to move out of his truck condo, right? Or is the law of attraction just flat out not working for him? I don't know. I think there's a part when I get enough information on this topic that, you know, the guy enjoys the solitude. I think that probably is true. I think there's another part of this situation where law of attraction just isn't working for him. Don't know. So I wondered if you guys would leave a comment. I think there's comments under YouTube videos somewhere in there where you could leave a comment about your thoughts on, does the law of attraction work? And if you have enough space, or you want to spend enough time, maybe just jot down a note or something about whether it's worked for you and what specifically it was that happened, or it didn't work for you or hasn't worked for you ever, and maybe an example or something. That makes sense? So I'm going to bring this topic up again because I run into a lot of people that sure do work hard at the law of attraction, and there ain't anything happening in their life. I mean, I don't think finding pennies on the street have any significance to if you're on the right track. I don't think it has any connection, but maybe somebody else does. So anyway, God bless everybody. Take care of one another, and I'll look forward to talking to y'all again real soon. Thanks a lot. See you. Bye.